Hello, student. Welcome back to another session of psychology. Today, we are going to explore two fascinating methods used by psychologists to study human behavior: case study and psychological testing. These methods help psychologists understand how people think, feel, and behave, just like a detective collecting clues to solve a mystery. Let's begin with case study. So basically, case study is an in-depth study of a particular case. A case study is an in-depth investigation of a single individual, group, or event. It helps psychologists understand rare or unique situation in a great detail. It employs multiple methods for collecting information such as interviews, observation, and psychological testing from a variety of respondents who in some way or the other might be associated with the case and can provide useful information. So key features of case study is detailed and holistic. It considers multiple aspects like emotions, thoughts, behavior and histories. Qualitative, focus on descriptions and understanding rather than numbers. And long term, conducted over a long period. For example, a psychologist may conduct a case study on a child who has been neglected since birth to understand how early experiences affect emotional development. Sources of data in case study: interview with the person and their families, observation, diaries or personal records, psychological test results. Okay, so strength or merit: gives rich and deep data, helpful in studying rare cases, generate hypotheses for further study, provide rich descriptive information, helps in an in-depth study of rare phenomenon. So these are some merits, and limitations are also there. Fails to establish a cause and effect relationship. It may be subject to be biases for the researcher. Not easy to generalize to other. So this is the case study. Now we will discuss about psychological testing. So a psychological testing is a standardized and objective instrument that is used to assess an individual's standing about others on some mental or behavioral characteristics. So psychological testing is a standardized and objective method to assess various mental functions such as intelligence, personality, aptitude, memory, and more. These tests are carefully designed and administered under specific conditions to ensure fairness and accuracy. The construction of a test is a systematic process and involves certain steps. It involves a detailed analysis of items and an estimation of their reliability, validity, and norms. So, there are some key features: standardized, same condition for everyone, objective, free from personal biasness, reliable, give consistent result over time, valid, measure that what it claimed to measure. So these are four key features for psychological testing. We will discuss one by one. So first is reliability. Refer to the consistency of score obtained by an individual on the same test on two different occasions. And another is validity. Refers to the questions: does the test measure what it claims to measure? And the third one is norms. Help in making a test, and standardized norm is refers to as the average performance of the group. How to measure which group this test is applied, everything measure in this manual or questionnaire. So we will talk about reliability. Reliability is a test refers to the consistency of a score obtained by an individual on the same test on two different occasions. How to measure reliability? So there are two important methods. Test retest method, which indicate the temporal stability or stability of the test score over time. And split half reliability is basically it gives an indication about the degree of internal consistency of the test. So type of test, there are three type of tests. First is mode of administration, it is the based on administration. There are two different types, individual test and group test. Another is mode of language, verbal test, non-verbal test and performance test. And which test form in language, this is the verbal test, and another is non-verbal test based on some uh, simultaneous consistency, and another is performance test based on sub-performance. And the third one is mode of difficulty level, the speed test and power test. Okay, for example here, if a psychologist wants to understand whether a student has a learning disability, they might use an intelligence test and achievement test to compare the child's potential and actual performance. Okay, so these are methods covered in this topic. We will compare both tests, psychological testing and case study in different aspect. First is data type. Psychological testing mostly quantitative and case study is mostly qualitative. Sample size, based on sample size, psychological testing many individuals, case study usually one. Aspect of focus, psychological testing focuses specific traits and person, case study is whole person. In generalizability, psychological testing is high, case study is low. Objectivity in psychological testing is high and case study may be low. So this is the comparison between psychological test and case study. So to sum up, psychological tests help us measure specific traits in a standardized way, and case study give a deep insight into unique and complex cases. Both methods are essential tools in psychology, each with its own strength and limitations. So that's all for today. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to reply me, and if you have any doubt, ask me. Uh, okay, so my question is, which method would you use to study a person with an extremely rare psychological disorder and why? Answer in the comments. See you in the next session. Until then, keep observing, keep learning. Okay, so in the next lecture, we will discuss about the analysis of data, limitations of psychological inquiry and ethics of psychological inquiry. Okay, so bye bye, take care.